everything you need to know about a Ram 1500 TRX. All right, folks, I am beyond excited to talk to you guys about this behemoth of a truck, because when Ram debuted the Ram 1500 TRX in 2021, it was the definition of bringing a gun to a sword fight. That's right. They made sure that if they're entering this off-road capable Baja super truck category that had been absolutely dominated by Ford for over 11 years, they were going to come out swinging and they're going to hit an absolute grand slam. And they did it. Not only did they create a vehicle that was bigger, more menacing, and tougher looking than its foe, the Raptor, but they also made one that was drastically faster and had almost twice the horsepower. I cannot wait to tell you more about this Ram 1500 TRX.
I'm Jeff Batchelor, and I love cars. I love the look, I love the design, and I love the emotion that you feel. I love the history, brand stories, marketing strategy, and automotive trends. I love engineering, types of propulsion, engine specs, drivetrain, and performance, and I love the interiors, layouts, smell, and the gizmos and gadgets and bells and whistles. But I don't only love cars, I also sell them. If you love this content and want to chat about a purchase, text me at 416-523-6585. Now back to the video.
So let me paint you a little picture, okay? In 2010, Ford came out with the Raptor. It was the first wide-body, factory-sold, off-road ready, jumpable truck, which was its claim to fame, and people absolutely loved it. And for over 11 years, there was absolutely no competition in sight. Even I fell in love with the Ford Raptor and always thought that someday that would be the coolest truck to have. But in 2021, we were in an automotive boom that had automobile companies left, right, and center with more money than they ever thought that they would. You know, Ford was coming out with brand new products like the Bronco. They wanted to invest money on an electric Mustang and an electric F-150. GMC was coming out with electric Hummers, and we're talking about turning their entire fleet electric. But in 2021, Ram decided, you know what? Let's Hellcat a truck. And why not? They'd already Hellcated a Durango, they already Hellcated a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and they even Hellcated a four-door family sedan in the Charger. So when the Ram 1500, the most awarded truck in North America of the most recent years, decided to come out with an off-road beast and they dropped the Hellcat motor in it, well, you know that this was a game changer, and this will forever go down as one of the coolest trucks ever made. This truck that I get to review is my buddy Ben's, and I knew that as soon as I started my YouTube channel, I'd want to do a review on this truck. Not only is this a Ram 1500 TRX, but it's a Havoc edition. It's in this beautiful yellow color and inside filled with beautiful yellow stitching in Alcantara suede. Not only that, but there's a couple tasteful mods on this TRX, so don't you dare pull up to this one because all you'll see is tailpipes. So what is a Ram 1500 TRX? Well, we know that Ram does an incredible job doing off-road trucks. It starts with the Ram Warlock, the Ram Rebel, and then at the top of the food chain, we have the Ram 1500 TRX. But wait! If you are watching this video in 2025, just like the dinosaur it was named after, the Ram TRX has gone extinct. They've replaced the Ram TRX with a RHO, which is a 540 horsepower twin turbo powered truck with many of the same off-road features and components. Now, not only is this the top of the line of the off-road lineup from the Ram 1500 truck series, but it's got wider fender flares, it's got bigger suspension, it's got bigger wheels, and it's got the interior that is as nice as any single truck that Ram puts together. So not only are you getting the ultimate off-road vehicle, you are also getting the most premium luxury truck at the same time. Now, the name TRX obviously references the T-Rex animal, which is a direct attack over the Ford Raptor, which is the vehicle that this vehicle competes against. Now, again, they use those two comparison many times in the vehicle, and Ram has hidden quite a few Easter eggs to take a couple jabs at the Ford Raptor for being so underpowered compared to the big TRX. All right, so what makes this truck so impressive is clearly the powertrain. We have the 6.2 liter supercharged V8 Hellcat engine, which Stellantis has been made famous for. Hellcat everything, why don't you? Now, this has a 2.4 liter supercharge, which helps this truck put out 702 horsepower, 650 feet-pound of torque, will push this thing 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds and even do a quarter-mile time in just over 12 seconds. Now, this also has some impressive tow ratings as well, because this TRX weighs about 6,500 pounds but can tow 8,100 pounds, which is still very impressive. All right, now let's get into it. Let's talk about all the cool design elements and features that make this TRX so impressive. And it's actually really cool because so many of them are visible on the outside, so it's really easy to talk about. So first thing, let's talk about the hood. This is the only Ram 1500 product with a big, giant air scoop. Think back to the old SRT-10 Viper trucks. This is what I think this hood was designed to go after. Now, that hood scoop puts air directly into the engine, and the only reason why this engine doesn't put out the 720 or 790 horsepower that the cars usually do is it does have a bit of a limited airflow going into the engine. They want to make sure that this truck isn't gobbling up dust, dirt, water, mud. So again, it's got a little bit of a different filtration system to get air into the engine. Flanked on both sides of this big giant hood scoop are not real vents. They look great, and this one also has a nice TRX decal kit, which really completes the nice off-road aggressive look of this truck. If you've ever wondered why vehicles have matte black on the hood or on their vehicles, it's to absorb the glare. So when you're ripping this truck around in the desert, you don't have the sun beating off the hood blinding you. Think about the black patches that baseball players have under their eyes. Well, same sort of theory here as well. As we move down, we've got a large mouth opening, which again collects air into this 6.2 liter engine. They've even carved out the Ram letters to make sure that additional air passes through here. And this big, wide truck that is 8 inches wider than a typical Ram 1500 has these nice little air outlets in the fenders, which allows the air to pass through just a little easier than having to go around these extra large fenders. Now down below, Ram does this great on their Warlocks and their Rebels. We get a steel powder-coated off-road bumper that's very well rounded, that gives you great approach angle to off-road obstacles. You also have a steel skid plate as well as additional skid plating underneath the truck to keep all the bits nice and protected. Alongside, not only do we have these extra large fender flares, but these fender flares are also flanked with a decorative and protective plastic flank, which will keep the tree branches and other elements off of the paint of your vehicle. And then in these wheel arches, we have these enormous 35-inch tires that come straight from the factory like that. They're mounted on these beadlock capable rims, where my friend Ben actually got his beadlock rim powder coated to match this beautiful Havoc yellow of the truck. And if we peek in behind those wheels, we see the incredible Bilstein suspension, which is extremely customizable depending on which drive mode you're in. This vehicle, of course, has sport mode, custom modes, Baja modes, rock modes, and all kinds of different drive modes. And the suspension is very good at adapting to make sure that the suspension matches the drive mode that you're in. And also next to that suspension, you see ginormous, beefy control arms that are intended to take an impact or absorb the weight of this truck if you are jumping it. That's right, this truck is not only able to jump, it's intended to jump because we have these two little pistons, one in the front and one in the back, that actually measure to see if the wheels are weightless and hanging below the truck, which will actually tell the suspension to stiffen up and get ready for impact. Again, if that does not blow your mind, I don't know what will. Ram really thought of everything when creating an off-road juggernaut. And as we move along the side of this beautiful Ram 1500, again, I love the look of the yellow and the black contrast, everything. Black mirror caps, black fender flares, black handles, black tinted windows, and then this beautiful yellow that just screams attention. Makes you think of a Tonka truck, or even the Grigio yellow that's my favorite color on a Lamborghini. This truck is beautiful to look at. It's accented with these awesome powder-coated steel off-road running boards, which serve a very good functional benefit, but also look really awesome too. So as I move to the back of this Ram 1500 TRX, I believe that this rear quarter view is easily the best view of this truck. When you look at a Ford Raptor, I feel like they've been getting blander and plainer and less aggressive as the years and the generations have moved on. But look at this. The stance of this truck is so imposing, and the way you can see the front fender and the back fender extrude out from the body of the vehicle is extremely, extremely impressive. Now also, not only do we have this ultra wide stance, but we also have these plastic inlets next to the taillight just to mimic the inlets that we have on the front fenders. We've got your Ram badging across the taillight, and again, another steel powder coated bumper in the back. Down below, we have real exhaust tips, massive exhaust tips, and exhaust tips that howl a sound so amazing, you'll definitely make your neighbors angry. All right, now let's talk interior. If you've been in a Stellantis vehicle since 2019, you know that their attention to detail and the quality of their interior is second to none. There's no question why Ram 1500 and Ram Series trucks are winning every single award given out by automotive journalists anywhere in North America. And this Ram TRX interior does not disappoint. However, I've been in a lot of Ram 1500 TRX, but specifically in this Ram 1500 TRX Havoc Edition, they took everything they already did amazing and made it even better. This is not only the nicest Ram interior, I think this is the nicest interior of any vehicle I have ever reviewed. This is covered in beautiful black Alcantara suede, covered in real black leather, the gorgeous yellow accent stitching and real carbon fiber on the doors and dash really brings the quality and look of this vehicle up to a whole different level. The door sills start with real leather at the top with this gorgeous yellow accent stitching. Then down below, the silver that you used to find on a TRX door has now been replaced with black chrome. Even this Harman Kardon speaker covers have been made of a darker silver instead of the bright silver, really emphasizing the nice black on black on black look of the interior of this truck. I know it's really minor, but it makes a massive difference, especially someone like me who has seen so many different TRX interiors. Moving on to the seat, we get these deep bucket bolstered TRX style seats. Everybody who's ever sat in a Mopar performance vehicle knows just how huggy and just how comfortable these seats are. They're heated, they're ventilated, and they're accented in leather, vinyl, and Alcantara suede. Moving on to the dash, leather from edge to edge, carbon fiber on the glove box, carbon fiber surrounding the instrument cluster, carbon fiber surrounding the cup holders, and even the armrest has Alcantara suede, this beautiful Havoc Edition TRX metal plaque, and then the steering wheel, they even decided to put Alcantara and carbon fiber on the steering wheel. Man, Ram, you have outdone yourself. Like I said, probably the nicest interior of any vehicle I have ever reviewed to date. So now that I'm sitting behind the wheel of this Ram 1500 TRX Havoc Edition, although the differences are small, I really think they make a big impact. This Havoc Edition has the dark chrome Ram's head instead of the silver one. The silver that flanks the steering wheel buttons is now blacked out as well, and this yellow stitching contrasted with the Alcantara inserts in the steering wheel are absolutely fantastic. Now on the right hand side of the steering wheel, we have our cruise control and adaptive cruise control buttons like I mentioned. And on the back, you got paddle shifters, and then in little cutouts in the paddle shifters, you still get your radio buttons like you get in all Stellantis vehicles. Now when we stare through the steering wheel, we get this really well done 12-inch instrument cluster done by Stellantis. We can have a typical view which has your tachometer on the left and your speedometer on the right. We can simplify the view to simply have a speedometer and the tachometer in a horizontal view down below. And then we also have views where we can actually put in some driver dynamics and so much more. Now this 12-inch screen should not be outdone by the heads-up display, which is full color and also has the ability to show the posted speed, speed limits, navigation directions, radio details. That heads-up display, you can adjust the height, the brightness, the content. It's all very configurable and all very easy to use. So moving along to the central infotainment system, because this is a 2023, not only do we get the latest driver cluster 12-inch screen, but we also get the latest Uconnect 5 12-inch screen located here. I've reviewed this many times and it is extremely customizable. It is very user-friendly, it is very fast, and it is very easy to use. You can access your media and your sound will play through a 19-speaker Harman Kardon sound system with an 800-watt amplifier as well as a 12-inch subwoofer. We've got climate controls on the touchscreen, but for those that don't like screen climate controls, we've also got physical buttons located on the side, as well as the ability to quickly jump to your seat controls where you can activate your heated seat, heated wheel, ventilated seats, and also adjust your climate. We have a very fast and very intuitive navigation system powered by TomTom. It'll detect radar detectors and stationary speed cameras and alert you already, so a very good system. And then we also have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as a wireless charging pad located down below. Now, some really unique features about this vehicle. We get a great camera system. As you can see, we get a full 360 camera view, but we can also shortcut a plethora of other cameras available, including your left mirror, your right mirror, your front camera, your fisheye front camera, your rear camera, a fisheye rear camera, a trail camera, a backup camera, and so many more. This vehicle is also set up with the ability to display trailer cameras. So if your trailer is outfitted with cameras, it'll feed those in to the rest of the cameras, allowing you to get a full 360 view of not only truck, but trailer as well. Okay. On your dashboard page, you have two different pages here. Your performance page, which allows you to see vehicle timers, your performance gauges, your engine dynamics, your G-force meter, and even what your vehicle is set up as far as off-road settings. And then we also have a race page, which is really neat because you can turn on and off launch control. You can set at what RPM your launch control launches at. And if you're going to be using the manual paddles to shift your vehicle, you can actually get the truck to alert you to shift at different RPMs. All very customizable, all very cool. Also, if you do plan on taking this to the drag strip, you do have availability to put this vehicle in a race cool down mode just to make sure that you aren't going to be overheating the engine. Again, these trucks are meant to be driven, meant to be raced, meant to be jumped, meant to be off-roaded. So again, having all these features is really nice because you can really use the truck for its maximum potential. And above the infotainment screen, Ram has thought of everything. We've got a very handy power outlet, which is very useful for dash cams or radar detectors. And last thing in the front seat I want to talk about is, again, the rear view mirror. Not only do you get a nice, large, frameless, auto-dimming rear view mirror, but it is also a digital rear view mirror. You flip the switch and it'll project what a camera is showing you from the rear of your vehicle. It can also have the brightness adjusted, and it can also have its height adjusted as well. Very nice feature to have on your Ram 1500 TRX. Now, something else I love about the Ram 1500 TRX is this is the first time that Ram has had different drive modes available on their 1500. The TRX comes with 8 different drive modes, including a sport mode, a tow mode, a snow mode, an automatic mode, a customizable custom mode, mud and sand, rock, and Baja. Baja obviously being the most extreme version of the truck with the most aggressive acceleration and shift pattern, also with the most travel in the suspension. This Ram 1500 TRX does not have a 2-wheel drive mode, okay? Although we have different drive modes, every single one of them is a different 4-wheel drive mode. And this last button located here needs no introduction. It is the launch control button. If you want to take your TRX to hyperspace, all you need to do is press this button, hold down the brake, rev it up, and let go of the brake, and you are off to the races. And one more thing I want to talk about here in the front seat is the shifter. Now, although a shifter is not typically something exciting, 2021, when the Ram TRX debuted, this was the return of the console shifter for Ram enthusiasts. Typically, Ram 1500s use a dial to control the 8-speed torque flight transmission. But when they came out with an 700 horsepower super truck, they knew that enthusiasts were going to want to have a shifter to control all that power. So this was the first truck to have the shifter, and then opened up the door for Ram GT models to also have the shifter available in lower trim levels as well. And the cool features don't stop when you get to the back seat. Ram does the back seat better than any truck in the entire industry. Not only do you have a class-leading amount of headroom and legroom, but you get the same materials that you get up front. Alcantara suede on the seats and doors, leather padded top door sills, and some really high quality seats in the back. Now in the back seat, these seats are not only heated, but it's also the only truck you'll find that has ventilated rear seats. But that's not all. Heated and ventilated seats are just some basic party tricks compared to the reclining rear seats that you get in the back of the TRX. And if you're just 4 passengers back here and not 5, we've got this amazing center console here, which again has an Alcantara center patch, beautiful yellow stitching, real leather on it, and mimics the front seat. So even in the back seat, you get the utmost amount of luxury. Now over here where you see the heated seats and ventilated seat controls, you get 5 different power outlets, keeping your rear seat occupants very happy. But the cup holder has a very unique cutout where you can actually stick an iPad straight in it. So if you got little ones riding in the back of your TRX, you don't have to worry about an iPad holder or any aftermarket accessories. It'll actually hold the iPad for you so your little ones can keep an eye on Miss Rachel. And then not only are these seats comfortable, but the amount of storage you have in the back of a TRX is incredible. Underneath the seat, you have a flip-out bin, which obviously my friend Ben is using very well. Underneath the floor mats, we have more storage bins that Ram is very well known for. But again, it's still a truck. You can use it for truck stuff. And what I love about those storage bins is you can keep the stuff you don't want seen out of view and still keep the rest of your truck looking next to pristine. And not only does the Ram 1500 TRX have an incredibly impressive interior, but it's still ultra capable as a truck. We've got a bed utility step, which makes getting in and out of your box very easy. In the back, we have a power release tailgate. And then once you're up here, the tonneau cover is incredibly easy to remove. And it reveals the nice bed utility rail system that Ram has put on these off-road trucks. So when the Ram TRX came out in 2021, not only did it do what competitors were already doing better, but it also did what other competitors just couldn't. They put the nicest interior in the entire automotive space, not just trucks, inside a super truck that you can also take off-roading. They also put a high-performance 700 horsepower engine inside a super truck, which is something else that the competitors really couldn't do. Now, this is a game-changing truck because since it has come out, we have seen some competitors try to compete in different areas, and all that is wonderful for car enthusiasts because it forced Ford to make a better truck, Chevy to try to come out with something competitor, and even you've got electric trucks chasing after this market as well, making something that's high performance and fast, and also making something that's off-road capable. However, I'll say it once, I'll say it again, the Ram TRX will often be imitated but never duplicated. The howl of the supercharger, the growl of the V8 engine, and the nicest interior, the smoothest ride, the most capable truck, and clearly the best looking one means the Ram TRX will always stand alone.